Hi, it's Chris Gio from Merchant Method, and I'm thrilled that you've joined me this week. We're doing something a little bit different than we typically do with our weekly trend reports. And rather than looking to industry news, we are going to turn in to understand the trend of your business. We're in June and it's about time to take stock of your year to date because before you know it, we are going to be well into July. And in order to prepare you for replanning the second half of your year, we need to take stock of your year to date. So this week, we're going to talk about some best practices for recapping your past. And then next week, we're going to talk about 90-day business planning. So I'm a huge believer that before you can move forward, you have to look back. We have to understand at any point what our past business trend is, what our present business trend is, in order to have great forecasting and great planning for the future. And so what I want you to do is take some notes. We're going to talk about this piece of the business review process and plan to schedule about 45 or 60 minutes for you to complete this portion of your business review. If this is a practice you do on the regular and you recap quarterly, fantastic. If you haven't done so yet, absolutely take this time to recap the first half of your year. So here's the process that I go through. I often ask myself, what did I say I was going to do? And you are absolutely allowed to change. You are crafting the state of your business. Though I'm a huge believer in the science of retail and the art of retail, we are not 100% purely technical, 100% purely scientific. And so I'm clear that in order to be really great merchants, in order to really understand our customer and deliver to them, the business changes. But we still need to measure ourselves. So what did you say you were going to do? What were your plans for sales and profit? What did you want to do with regards to your product assortment? Any production or private label you may have done? Any finishing of goods? Did you have marketing events, selling events, promotions? What were your plans for engaging online through your website, through your marketing, through your social media? Did you have goals for professional development or continuous improvement? Did you have goals for employee or vendor management? And then how did you calendarize your own business management, your business operations, and were you efficient? So these are 6 general categories that I want you to evaluate yourself. What did you say you would do? And across those 6 categories, what did you actually do? And this will be a scale of, you completed all that you planned or you got to some of it. If you didn't get to all of it, um, what made you stop where you stopped? Either because that goal wasn't realistic or the nature of the business changed or you were on to something even better. After you identify what you did, next identify what worked. Because if you can identify and replicate the things that led to success, it means that you can really leverage that for the back half of the year. Also identify what didn't work. I was speaking just this morning in a mastermind group. I'm personally very curious and I'm interested in understanding what doesn't work for me and understanding what doesn't work for Merchant Method because I know I can learn from it. Which takes us to the next question. What did you learn in the process? Either what did you learn about your strengths or what did you learn about your areas of opportunity? And lastly, what are you going to do to move forward? So this is a bit of a matrix. 6 questions. What did you say you would do? What did you do? What worked? What didn't work? What did you learn? And what are you going to do to move forward? And you're asking those 6 questions around 6 areas of your business: sales and profit, product assortment, any production or packaging, marketing and selling events, communication, particularly online communication, websites, marketing, social media, development and improvement, like professional development, continuous improvement, employer vendor management, and then lastly, just general business management and operations and efficiency. And so again, plan about 45 to 60 minutes. If this process takes less than 30 minutes, I would challenge you to dive in and revisit the process so you aren't only remembering the highlights or the things that resulted in the most notable experiences, right? So there's going to be low-hanging fruit under the covers, but also take some time to dive in to really study the mechanics of your success and study the mechanics of your opportunities. And my hot tip for you is, as you're going through this process and challenging yourself to take stock of your year to date, create a template that you can use regularly, since this is a practice that you should do quarterly. If you have a co-owner, a high-level manager like a general manager or a store manager, a high-level counterpart, I would highly encourage you to go through this review process with a partner so that you can really help fill out this hindsighting review process. And then if there are a few people on your team that you feel have been in the business long enough, they've been with you for the entire 3 months or, the entire half year, that you feel has a good assessment of being with the customer because they've been in the store with consistency, maybe not twice a month, but maybe, a couple of times a week with consistency, you may want to take about 15 minutes as part of your regular check-in or regular touch base and ask them a few of these questions, because their insights are going to be really valuable, but they're with the customer a lot. And then as a teaser to what we'll cover next week in terms of planning your next 90 days or your next half year, I want you to spend some time thinking through your long-term goals versus your short-term goals. I want you to revisit the priorities for your business that you set at the beginning of the year, and I want you to reevaluate your guiding principles or your business values, because these things, long-term, short-term goals, priorities for 2017, your brand values or your brand guiding principles, in conjunction with your business review, these two things are going to be these two kind of pools of information are going to be the foundation for your have to business replan. If you can't wait until next week, search through our retail trend report topics. I have a 90-day business planning, 2 posts on 90-day business planning. We'll review some of that, but it'll be with a little bit of different flavor because I like to brush up on my content and brush up on my own processes so that I continue to have a refreshed perspective. So thank you so much for joining me this week. I'm really excited to hear from you about what your insights are, where you are year to date. And remember, you and your business can thrive in equal proportion. I'll catch you next week. And until then, this is Chris Guillo.